Hello and welcome to Innovative Learning Process. Now we are going to take ethics portion, and in ethics now today we will take emotional intelligence. So let's get started. Emotional intelligence. The meaning of the emotional intelligence means we have the two kinds of intelligence. First one, the intelligence quotient, and this refers to our critical thinking and analytical thinking, and second one is the emotional thinking, and whatever the we have the capability to think the emotionally, or the emotional thinking, that is consist that is consisted of emotional intelligence. It is basically to understand the emotions properly of oneself and of other persons as well. The theory of emotional intelligence has been provided by Daniel Goleman in 1995. As per the theory of Daniel Goleman, this has been proposed that 80% of the success for a whole life of a person is attributed to the emotional intelligence. It means that this plays a very critical part of our whole development and the whole achievement of the life. So, emotional intelligence or emotional, and its intelligence is very critical part of our attitude, and only 20% of our success is dependent upon the intelligence quotient, that is IQ. Emotional intelligence or the emotional quotient consists of perception of emotion. Perception of emotion means to have the ability to recognize the emotions of oneself and of other persons as well, and also the management of the emotions. Not only the ability to recognize, but also the ability to proper manage of the emotions, like understanding of emotions and emotional facilitation of thought. Understanding of emotions means there are various situations where you have to apply the emotions, because as a civil servant, day to day situations are coming in such a way that you have to utilize your emotions very well, and also you have to recognize the emotions of the persons who are before you. Suppose that a crowd, you are being confronted by a crowd, and they are demanding for some facilities, and right now you know that this facility, that particular facility, is not possible to be provided, but the crowd is not ready to listen to your words. Then what should be the course of action from your side as a civil servant? In these kinds of conflicting situations, when the things are not in your hands, then you have to proper balancing of the emotions of yourself as well as the persons who are before you. In this way, emotional facilitation of thought. What kind of thought process you should be processed with? That is being decided by your emotional intelligence. The components of emotional intelligence. Self awareness. This is the first component, self awareness. This means that emotional awareness means accurate self assessment of oneself, positively as well as negatively, because you should be aware very well that what are the positive thinking, what are the positive things in inside you, and what are the negative things. And each and every decision as a civil servant, you have to apply this formula of the accurate self assessment. Every decision is being passed through this litmus test of self assessment. It means that if you are able to understand that what kind of facilities, what kind of services you may provide, and what not, and if you can accurately assess these things, then your decision making would be much more rational, enables to set realistic goals. Self awareness means you should provide the realistic goals. You have not to set such goals that is unrealistic, that could not be fulfilled. It means that if you are taking any decision, then that decision should be based upon some logic. Without logic and without proper thinking, no decision should be taken from your side. Feedback. Feedback is also important part, because if as a public authority, as district magistrate or any civil servant who is utilizing the government services and who is bearing the parts of the government, so it is very important that this authority should get the feedback of its own actions and implementation. And also, if you have the feedback, then it will also provide you the self assessment of your goals, and it will provide more and more rational thinking, and also it will push towards the realistic setting of the realistic goals as well. And new viewpoints could also be incorporated, because if you are taking the feedback of your work and actions, then new viewpoints could be very important for you in order to fulfill the aspirations of the people, and also what are the shortcomings in your services or in your actions that can be incorporated in future. So new viewpoints also important. This is providing the self assessment facilities. And self confident. Also, if you are doing all those things, means you are setting the realistic goals, you are taking the feedbacks, you are taking the new viewpoints for your actions, then after that, if you implement any policy or any new actions or any new plans, then you would become much more self confident. So self confident comes from the emotional awareness or self awareness. Next one component of the emotional intelligence is self motivation. Motivation may be two types. First one, the outside motivation, like in the form of allurement of the money, in the form of in any kind of compensation. But outside motivation is not much more durable, it is not long lasting. The self motivation that is required, that should be within you, within your innermost heart. And this type of self motivation is very important to fulfill the greater tasks. This kind of self motivation comes from your goal commitment. Goal commitment, diligence means hard work, resilience, and optimistic outlook, sacrifice to larger goals. Suppose that sacrifice to larger goals, we can say that this is very important part from the civil servant and also the aspirants for the civil servants, those who are in service and those who are going to be the part of the service. To both kinds of candidates, sacrifice to larger goals is very crucial point, because we know that if we have to fulfill the larger tasks, then we have to make the sacrifice for the lesser ones, means our individual or our private life should be given the less priority. And this is the great sacrifice for the larger goals. If we can practice this, then our goal commitment would be the better one. And also, it is the very much beneficial for the larger public goals. As it is said that those persons who are in authority, they don't care about their own personal life, rather than they are more and more focusing upon the fulfill or the serving the society, because these are the larger goals. A number of people had shown the faith in those authorities, and that faith should not be eroded at all. Next one is self regulation. This is the very important part of the emotional intelligence, as self regulation. Regulation within yourself, as motivation within ourselves is required, in the same way self regulation is also required. Emotional and behavior control is being done by self regulation, because disruptive emotions and feelings, a person can have the more and more disruptive emotions and feelings. Take the example, you have the greater authority, you have a big authority to take the actions, and also as a human being you are the element of the society. And if you have the tendency to some special caste, special section of the society, then your thoughts, your emotions might be disruptive, and your feelings would be much more disruptive. Because if you see that there is atrocities is being done towards those section of the society by other persons, then your disruptive emotions push you to take the strict actions, and those strict actions could go beyond your jurisdiction, and this is not acceptable in the career of the civil servants. So disruptive emotions and feelings should not prevail in your attitude, and this should be regulated within yourself, and the tool is that emotional intelligence, not prisoner of own feeling. It means that whatever you feel may not be correct. This should be the attitude of yourself. It doesn't mean that you know something, and you can claim that this is the final, and this is the final truth, because there might be multifaceted truth, might be other side true as well. So if you are the prisoner of your own feeling, then you could not become such a person to take the right kind of decisions. So free from own feeling. Trustworthiness means honesty, integrity, and admit mistakes. How you can inculcate the qualities of the trustworthiness? This could be inculcated by practicing of honesty and integrity. Honesty and integrity, it means that honesty towards the people and integrity towards the constitution as the part of the life of the civil servant, and this should be much more important for any civil servants, and if they follow the path of the honesty and integrity, then they can also admit mistakes if any mistakes had been done from their part. Because as a true civil servant, if you have been provided the powers and you are exercising the government powers, then definitely there are chances that your plans or your policies which are being implemented by you could not fetch the intended results. But in that failure as well, you should admit your mistakes, and if you are admitting the mistakes, then people could pose the faith in you. People can understand that the honesty of this officer is very good, and integrity towards the constitution is higher. So it will provide the elements of the trustworthiness. This is also coming from your self regulation, more objective appraisal of situations. Objectivity is the key. Objectivity is the key feature of the decision making, because subjective decisions could not be the beneficial for the whole of the society. Suppose that your belief system is not allowing that the reservations should be continued. This is your belief system that reservation should be abolished at once. But it might be harmful to those sections of the society who had been deprived for ages. And how can it be decided that this should be continued or discontinued? So, the objective appraisal of the situation is required. The objective appraisal means any fact based input is required, that what are the situations of those section of the society. If the report is saying that those people who are intended to take the benefits are reaching to their stage where they should be, or they are at par with the other section of the society, then it can be discontinued. It means that more objective appraisal is required, and this is also coming from your self regulation. It means that emotional and behavior control, all those things are the part of the self regulation. Next one is that emotional awareness. Emotional awareness, accurate, social awareness. Social awareness, especially the qualities of empathy. Empathy means you have to feel the same degree of pain or happiness with the same depth that other person feels. It means that whatever happening in any other person's mind and soul could be felt by you with the same degree, with the same intensity as well. This is the quality of empathy, and the quality of empathy is very important for the civil servants, since each and every time, each and every decision making time, you have to view the things from the common people, from the view of the common people, that what common people are thinking about your facilities, what is the requirement of those people, what are the problems they are facing. If you have the right kind of empathy within you, then you could provide the better result with your acts, with your policies, with your method of implementations. You should not be judgmental one. Judgmental means you are not supposed to provide the judgment on your own. Feel the things the way they feel. It means that the feeling should be in such a way that other persons are feeling in that way. And if you are feeling in that way, then there are less chances that you could become a judgmental one. Because judgmental means you are not seeing the situations, only you are imposing your judgments. So these kinds of things is not good from the point of civil servants and authorities. Service orientation. Your approach should be service oriented. Now, civil servants. The meaning of civil servants, it means that you have to provide the services of the civilians. But right now, due to socio-economic conditions. This is completely reversed. But nowadays, due to the information and communication technologies and many more things are changing right now, people are getting service oriented. So each and every civil servants should be service oriented, anticipating the customers and their satisfaction. It means that you have to recognize the requirements of the customers. Customers means large public. What are the requirements of the public and what solutions as a part of the government you can provide with their satisfaction? It means that if you are taking the feedback, then you could reach to the level of the satisfaction, because there are many loopholes and those loopholes could be bridged if you are taking more and more feedbacks from the common public. And if you are doing like that, then your loyalty level would be increased. If you are loyal to your services, if you are loyal to your customers or the public, then definitely you are going to take the good decisions. Next one is the social skills. Social skills means the skill which could provide the leadership, which could influence the people. This is the influence tactics for persuasion. Take the example that on the day of cleanliness, a prime minister is taking the broom and he is cleaning the roads, and millions of people are seeing that our prime minister is taking the broom in his hand and he is cleaning, then people are getting this idea that cleanliness is very important part of our life, and they are taking it very seriously. And this type of leadership qualities is required. This is called the social skills. It means that you have the capability to influence the people. How you can influence the people? First of all, you should become the leader. Leadership inspiring, guiding. You should guide the people. You should become the model to change. First of all, you have to change. As it is said that once upon a time, a lady came to Gandhiji and saying that my child is taking more and more sweets, but it is harmful for its health. So kindly guide him. And it is said that Gandhiji said that come after some time. And when she came again, then he told. And later the lady asked that why you did not tell that things on that day. Then he told that actually at that point of time I was also much more addicted, but now, right now, I have quit. And if I am also following the practice, then only I have the right to provide the leadership or to provide the some guide. Any field, it might be in any field, and especially in the civil servant or the civil servant's career. This is very, very important This is a very, very important quality that you should become the inspiring person. Next one is conclusion. In our conclusion, we can write that emotional intelligence, it is it can be used in our thinking, in our action, in handling the relationship, and maintain our patience and tolerance. Sense of humor. Sense of humor means ability to see the lighter side of the life, and it will provide the less stress and high stress tolerance, because in our field we can say that each and every time we have to be confronted with the stressful situations, and if we are using our intelligence, emotional intelligence, then we would be seeing the lighter side of the life. We can say that we will get addicted that this is the this is our profession, and this should not mingled with our real life, because suppose that we are seeing a case of murder, and if we are not controlling ourselves at that moment, then it would impact our decision making. So there might be certain objectivity, there might be certain uh, sense of humor, means the ability to see the lighter side of the life as well. In this way we can take the proper decisions. So this is the end of our session. Thank you so much.